So part like 17 or whatever, I lost track of the One Piece tier list discussion here with my boy Stebo Game Boy or Hibori, whatever he goes by, and these days. So he's muting
Hey,
himself
what's
right
going
now.
on?
Are you good? So we're gonna start off with Struesen first. So I want to let you go ahead. I know you want to hype up your boy, so let's hear it. And he muted himself again.
Is this Lord Struesen?
Lord Struesen the Third.
Lord Struesen, the right hand man of the Big Mom Pirates. All right, let's go.
I wouldn't go that far, but go ahead. Say what you gotta say.
What?
Say what you gotta say. Go ahead.
All right, well, first of all, I'd just like to say, giving all honor to Lord Struesen, First Lady, Charlotte Lindley. Um, Strusen's one hell of a guy. He saved his entire family in one fell swoop and sacrificed his well being in the process. Now, I can't think of a single other individual in the series other than the GOAT Roronoa Zoro that's ever done something comparable.
Mihawk with a casual slash, albeit.
Well, I'm talking about the specific people sacrificing themselves.
Oh, okay. I thought you just meant the slash.
Nah, not the slash. But yeah, there's a couple people who have done that as well, like you say, Mio, Zoro.
Mm-hmm. So I'm guessing the main reason you hype him up isn't necessarily his slash and surviving the fall; it's the history.
It's mainly the history, but it's the fact that the feats that he got in the actual time, the current timeline, it backs up the idea that his history is actually significant as a fighter on the Big Mom Pirates.
I mean, there's a difference between significant and going up against Rayleigh. I'll just say that.
Yeah. I know. That's a stretch.
Yeah. So why don't you go into
But,
that? Because I know you believe it.
well, I mean, it's kind of simple. I don't think it's too much more than what I already said. But if I can go into a little bit, I would just add that it see anybody else being able to take that position, and I would assume that somebody has to be contending with Rayleigh as Big Mom is going up against the Roger Pirate.
Well, my question
And
to you
Struesen is the
immediately
only
would
person
be,
that really fits that bill.
why do you think the Roger Pirates had like not even like daily or like monthly fucking duels with the Big Mom Pirates? Just why do you think they even fought them like this crew crew?
It just makes sense.
I mean, does it though? Because there's like a lot of conflicting ideas. Like you had, I think it was Law that said the Yonkos they clash all the time, and then you have Big Mom
Yeah.
saying she hasn't met Kaido in decades, and even like Roger, like I don't know if it's just the impression I got. The way he said it's like, yeah, he's fought with Whitebeard a fair bit, but it's not like this is very often. Like it's kind of rare, and that's why he was like so excited to do it one last time. I don't know. I don't feel like these Yonko crews really fight head to head. I feel like they just send out their underlings, and it's like a battle of like their relevant underlings for the most part.
Yeah, that makes sense. But wouldn't Struesen really be considered as underlings?
No, I don't mean like underlings as like Daifuku and Oven. I mean like literal fodder. I don't think Katakuri goes out and fights like other right hands or other commanders because like he said Luffy or base Luffy was like the hardest person to hit that he's ever had to like deal with.
Did he say the hardest, or did he just say in a while?
I'm pretty sure he implied ever.
Okay. Well, I mean, even that wouldn't shock me because, after all, he was dodging his attacks pretty effectively.
I know, but do you think base Luffy has like better speed than commanders?
I wouldn't say he has better speed, but I just think that goes into the idea that since Luffy's the main character and that he's going to be able to do some things that he probably shouldn't do. Like it's
Oh,
above his
come
pay grade.
on.
You know,
Come on.
it is what it is.
I hate that cop out, bro. I hate it.
I hate it. I hate it too. But I mean, it's there. So
I mean, you could say it's there, but there's no proof that he fought commanders at the same time. So I'd rather go with the thing that makes sense.
I mean, you could say there's no proof, but it's just like one of those things. Like before the Rocks incident would have gotten revealed, right? I would have been
Hmm.
one of the people saying that Garp has definitely done something significant in his career to bolster him up to being known as the hero of the Marine.
I mean, no, that's way more obvious than Cat fighting commanders.
You think so?
Yeah, like I said, like Big Mom said she hasn't met Kaido in decades. Like I don't think the crews go out like the big shots and actually like try to contest each other. I think for the most part,
But
other than Kaido, because he just likes to fight insurmountable odds, even though that's kind of feels like it's been contradicted. At the same time, like I feel like for the most part, they know they're at a stalemate, so they're like, ah, fuck it, we're just gonna like wait for an opportunity or something. Like they're kind of content.
well, how do you get to a stalemate other than by contending with one another?
Well, this goes into like when the Yakon system was created, but I feel like when the Yonkos were a thing, they fought each other at least once, maybe twice. Like they at least know that they're comparable to some extent. And then after that, they were content because they were like, it's gonna take a lot, and even if I go and attack them, like I might just get attacked and pay for committing all my forces or something.
Well, here's my main thing. Right? It's just like, and considering the system of the world of One Piece, where there's all these great powers, right? And we know that these great powers are contending with one another, vying for supremacy. And I hear you saying, and which is something that I agree with, how they send out the fodder to clash or whatever in their daily struggles throughout the New World. But I think it goes deeper than that. Like, for instance, how Blackbeard sent Burgess to Dressrosa to get the Marimara no Mi at Kurita Coliseum. I think that sort of thing happens often throughout the One
Well,
Piece world.
someone like Blackbeard, he prioritizes fruits like very heavily. So for him, this is like a major moment, and it's something that is set up for whatever he plans to do later. So it would have to be something like pretty important for someone else to commit if you're going with that line of thought.
Well, you don't think there's like, but and I understand that there's a flaw for me here, but because I don't have anything specific to point to, but what I'm leaning towards is more just like the logic with the whole logistics of the world of One Piece. Because the way I see things, it's got to be things that these people see that they can reach out and grab, which would bolster their stance in the world. Like how Big Mom is going after the giants in that alliance. How she also noticed that Germa has this technology that would also, better her forces.
I mean,
Like
she's
it's
not
just
really
not like that.
committing forces in those instances.
But that's the thing. Don't you think if she had to, she would do that? She was willing to do um, a murder marriage plot, but if Judge wasn't willing to like buckle down and say, okay, I have a son that can marry your daughter, don't you think she would have gone out, or not personally, of course, but somebody with some sort of force, go to the German and like take it by force?
Maybe Big Mom specifically because she's the type of person that's really petty and she doesn't like it when you don't listen to her because she's a fucking control freak. So maybe yeah, but I think like that's a special circumstance with her personality, and I don't know because she might just send a commander and then he could take care of all of Germa because Germa kind of trash. I don't know about the Giants because all the Giants we've seen have been trash, but apparently she thinks they would guarantee her being Pirate King. So if they're even that strong, like would she even want to commit forces to fight them? Like it's weird.
And then another instance of this would be Kaido sending Jack to go retrieve Rizo from Zo. Like that was something significant enough for Kaido.
Yeah, that's also another
And
weird scenario because why the fuck does Rizo matter? Like I get
yeah,
he
I was
wants
thinking
like
about
some
this the other day.
information about the One Piece or like whatever Odin learned, but he just straight up killed Odin. Like he's like, I'm not gonna ask you anything, peace. And then he just wants to like learn all the information from his followers, which he doesn't even know if they know anything. Like
Yeah, that was very weird to me because I didn't. I was thinking about it the other day. Like, why Rizo specifically when these other people are still?
Inuarashi, Nekomamushi are also retainers. Like
Yeah, and they're also retainers. That's another thing I was considering.
I don't know, man. It's so
So
weird.
why Rizo specifically?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if Oda's gonna like address it and even try to give an answer, or if he's just gonna like throw it to the side.
Yeah, we're going off on a little bit of tangent here, but do you think that he knew that they were returning?
You know, and Echo, I mean, they were there, right?
I know he saw them and all, but he might not know their names. He probably don't remember their faces. You don't think that could be a thing?
I mean, I would expect like Wano to have info on Odin's troops, especially with Kanjuro being
I would expect
being
that.
a fucking traitor.
Yeah. Conjuro was so he should definitely know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so it's definitely a little weird.
But it depends. Like I said, for Kaido, it's also another personality thing where he's apparently willing to face insurmountable odds. So even if he loses a commander, or if they attack him when the commander isn't there, he's like, I'm Kaido, so fuck it. Like maybe this is a chance for me to fucking die or something. I don't know. Like his character is like a complete contradiction in like many senses, which I don't even want to get into that. But
Going back to Conjuro, that's another thing. If Conjuro was a traitor the whole time, why was Raizo so important for information?
yeah, that's true. Like Kanjuro, he should have been there and he should know. Like, does Kanjuro think like Raizo is like special for Odin and Odin only told him shit? Like,
maybe there's more to be revealed there. It has to be because I can't imagine any other logical reason why Kaido would go through all that trouble.
Yeah, that's one of like the main reasons why I said so. Like, it was cool, but in hindsight, like all the info we get from Wano just makes it worse. Like stupid shit like why Raizo, and then their love for Odin, it just feels so shallow now with like seeing the actual events. Like, it's definitely lowered my rating of the arc. But let's talk about the Roger Pirates against Big Mom Pirates in general. Like, why do you think he wanted to go into her territory and just steal her shit and dip? You think it's just because he was running out of time and he wanted to do shit ASAP?
Yeah, that's my first thought. Like, I'm not one of the people that think like he saw himself as like far weaker.
Oh, you don't believe those fodder that said Roger couldn't escape? You don't believe they were right? How could you?
Nah. Not at all.
But I don't know. Like, how do you see a scenario between the Roger Pirates and the Big Mom Pirates like fighting happening? Like, you think Big Mom challenges Roger? You think Roger challenges Big Mom? You think they just run up on each other and they both want to fight?
Yeah, I think that fits their character. They both seem like they I guess I wouldn't say they, but at the very least they don't run from it, Or
yeah, I mean Roger definitely seems like he likes a tough battle. Maybe it's because that was his last chance to have one and that's why he was so excited, who knows, but I don't even know if he considered Big Mom like a worthy adversary at that point.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you already know that I don't hype up Big Mom that much.
Yeah, I mean, I get your personal bias for it, but
personal bias away now.
You have to admit that she's strong at least.
I mean, strong, yeah, but she's strong enough like fucking Garps and Goku strong at that time.
Oh, so you don't even think Garps and Goku were on that level?
No, I do. I'm saying, is she on their level?
Oh.
I feel like even Scopper could...
So you mean like 40 years ago?
Yeah, whatever the time period was when you think they fought.
If you mean like the Rock's time, then no, I don't think so. But I think by the time like the last 5 years of Roger's life, I would say, yeah.
I don't know, because I feel like even Scopper could take care of Big Mom at that point.
That's crazy.
And even now, I would still have Scopper over Big Mom. That big bitch ain't doing shit, boy.
That's wild.
Wait, you don't believe in the Scopper hype?
No, I definitely believe in Scopper hype, but not to that extent. That's crazy. I mean, like Yonko level.
Well, Rayleigh was Yonko level, and if he seems to be somewhat comparable to Rayleigh.
Well, I don't agree with Rayleigh being Yonko level either.
You think Kizaru's Yonko level, right?
Yeah.
And an old Rayleigh fight on par with Kizaru?
Well, I think there's a little bit more to that, because I never really viewed that as either of them really going all out. I think that was just like, it was similar to like Mihawk Vista type situation.
No.
Obviously the motivations and the circumstances were different, but I mean, like, as far as the the end result and what that fight means, I think is similar to that.
I can't say that at all because Mihawk was like daydreaming about Luffy. He wasn't even paying attention to Vista really. He was kind of like fighting on instinct alone, while Kizaru, he was getting kind of annoyed that Rayleigh was able to hold him back. And he was like, hey, you're making me look bad here. Like, he was trying to do his job. And it even said something like he was enraged that he let the Strahds get away, so he captured, like, some odd amount of pirates. Something along the lines. I definitely can't say that's comparable. But yeah, we're straying, like, too far off topic.
Yeah.
So where do you have Struesen in my tier list? Do you want me to post it?
Yeah.
Alright. Let me find it. I gotta scroll up. Alright, I got it. It's in general chat.
Yeah, I see it.
Better not see you putting him in S tier. Better not be that.
Prime Struesen would be S minus.
S minus.
Yeah.
Jesus, man. And do you say that as in like comparable to the S tier people, or is this like factoring in your own tier list?
Oh yeah, I'm looking at, you know, what you have here, and I'm thinking he would be right here with these people.
So you would have him like a tier above Marco, King, Sabo?
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking wild, dude. Where would you have old Struesen?
Old Struesen would probably be A.
Hey, so you think he's on par with Vista? And you're saying he's like still a tier above Cat?
Here's the thing. I think oh, I didn't even notice Katakuri was down there. Nah, I don't think he's stronger than Katakuri. Oh, I just saw these commanders and I figured that Katakuri will be here, but I wasn't really paying attention.
I have my boy Vista up.
Yeah, Goldie Vista.
Goldie Vista.
Based on this, I would have Old Struesen B plus.
B plus.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one tier above what I have him. I guess that's fair. Like, I already told you on Twitter, I have him as comparable to Ino because Capone gave him, like, similar hype. And I would have Ino and Echo, like, a tier below Jack because offensively, they're pretty much as equal, I'd assume. But Jack has that endurance edge on him. So he has, like, that little extra oomph to put him a tier above. And I could imagine it being similar with Struesen. I definitely don't think he has the endurance to match Jack, and offensively, I'd put him comparable to like Ino or Neko.
The way I see old Struesen is like he can fight in spurts, but he's so old that he wouldn't be able to really last. Like he can't go the distance, you know.
So do you think he's not really been keeping in shape?
Yeah, I don't think so. And I think for even smaller spurts, he can like tap into his prime ability.
Yeah, because that's what I was gonna ask next. I'm like, the biggest difference then would be how big of a gap we see between Prime and old Struesen, and then that makes sense if you think it's because he hasn't really been keeping in shape.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think your opinions are pretty fucking wild. I mean, if we ever get info about Rayleigh fighting Struesen, then you're gonna go off. I'll give you that. But it's never happening. That's a pipe dream.
Come on.
What do you think about the Grim argument, where he's like, Struesen will clash with Mihawk, and then Mihawk's sword will turn into like a piece of meat?
Well, I've always been of the belief that it will turn into a noodle. But
so you actually think it works that way?
Yeah. Why wouldn't it?
I don't know, because I mean that is overpowered. I'll give you that, but I don't know. It's kind of like the Boa thing. Like if she clashes with someone, does she just like turn them into stone and one shot them? Or does Hockey like counteract that somehow?
Yeah. You're right. Because I've always been of the belief that Hockey is a great equalizer. So I think Hockey would benefit him greatly. So I think it just comes down to, strategy at that point. Like, but Mihawk should be way faster and a lot more physically strong than what Struesen is. So I don't even think he'd be able to to really work around that. Like that initial clash would finish him, I think.
Yeah, I'd
But
agree.
if they were of comparable speed and strength, I think Struesen could probably, make Mihawk have to divert his hockey to a different part of his body and take advantage of that to like make a nick in Mihawk's blade. Well, I mean, maybe not even, because then it's the whole Black Blade thing, and even though we still don't necessarily know what that means, but obviously, I would say it's obvious that it has something to do with hockey. So I don't. But under the assumption that that is just a cool aesthetic, then yeah, I think if
It's just a
Struesen
cool
could
aesthetic.
come up with a strategy to make me divert his hockey, yeah, yeah.
You're kind of lagging. You might want to like leave
That
and join again.
assumption,
Okay, you're like super lagging
if
now.
Struesen could come up with a strategy to make.
Okay, I left and joined again. You do the same because you were lagging. It was like kind of bad at first, and then you went full like sped robot mode. Yeah, say
Am I good?
something. Yeah, you're good now.
All right. Well, yeah, if Struesen can cause Mihawk to divert his hockey away from his blade and take advantage of that opening to nick his blade and activate his ability,
I mean, you don't think you
that
can go full body?
he probably can, but that would still divert his hockey though. Like I think.
Oh,
that
you're
would
one of
lessen
those
the
people that
concentration.
think the concentration thing. Yeah, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
I just think it makes you waste more hockey, and that would be like
What
the
you mean?
weakness to it. Like you're just applying more hockey overall, so it's gonna like drain faster. You don't see where
Well,
I'm coming from?
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, but it would be either or, right? Depending on the user.
What do you mean? Because I don't think we've had any
um,
evidence of the concentration like theory being a thing.
Well, I think Rio is the evidence of that, right?
In what sense?
In the sense that you can divert your hockey to one part of your or another of your body, and if full body was like, if there was no trade off, then wouldn't full body just be the answer in every situation?
Well, like I said, I just think the trade-off is you waste it faster. So like, why would you waste it faster when if you're skilled enough, you can just apply it at specific points, and it won't matter anyways. And I'm just thinking about your like diverting the hockey like argument. I'm just thinking like, is Struesen gonna like stab the ground and then noodles are gonna come out like
Yeah,
the first
Mihawk got hockey
Hokage?
up his
It's gonna
feet.
be like
Yeah,
noodle branches or something grabbing his arms.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. Mihawk got to hockey up his feet to stay above water. Yeah, yeah. Because if that ground turned into chocolate pudding, you know what I'm saying? Mihawk starts sinking. He gonna need
Yo,
that
he
hockey so
just
he can
has
walk on.
Katakuri's fruit now.
Nah, that's the cuckoo no me. What you mean?
Bro, he's gonna get trapped in the pudding. He's gonna have to eat himself out.
Not necessarily. Not if he can walk on the pudding with hockey feet.
So you think he's Jesus out here?
I think he's Naruto.
Come on now. But yeah,
But
this.
no, seriously, I think that's how it worked though. You know, great
Yep.
equalizer.
You're talking about the hockey feet thing or the concentration
Yeah,
thing?
hockey feet.
Feet.
Well, concentration too, because I'm trying to understand what's the difference between concentration and just wasting more of your hockey. Because the reason that you do concentrate your hockey is because you're wasting it, right?
Well, the concentration thing is like if you spread your hockey out, like now it's weaker or something along those lines. And I don't think it's any weaker if we spread it out. I feel like it's pretty much the same.
Because I'm thinking of it like this, right? You got 100 hockey points. If you spread it out all over your body, you have to focus a certain amount on each body part. Like, say, if you do 25 on your leg, no, 20 on your leg, 20 on the other leg, 20 on your torso, and then another 20 on one arm, another 20 on the other arm. Your head is unprotected. But if you concentrate 40% on one arm and 40% on another arm and 20% on your head, then your torso and 2 legs amputated, right?
I guess. I just think this is a terrible example, but go on.
Well, why you think that though? Because I think there has to be a limited pool of hockey. I mean, we see that in the way that Luffy uses Gear Fourth, right?
These guys can go on for hours, though. So, yeah, there's a limited pool, but I don't think it's like if you full body, then it's going to drain like immediately or like super quickly or anything.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see later on if more people fight with full body or not. I just feel like if you're skilled enough, full body is kind of irrelevant because you're just gonna like see with observation where they're gonna hit you, and then you're gonna hockey up that part. So there's just no need for it.
Yeah.
Like the only time it will really come in use is if you're pretty much attacked from like all angles, like a big AOE attack.
Right. Right.
But yeah, we can move on from Struesen. Do you want to talk about the Flying Six?
Yeah.
All right. So you want me to start, or do you want to go?
Oh, you can start.
So page one is complete garbage. You couldn't one shot Sanji. Like just scrap that guy the fuck out of here. Don't even mention him.
What's wrong with you, man?
For real though, like, okay, because this is something that people have been arguing ever since the official scans came out. With that guy Sasaki, who's pretty much shooting Maru, but a fishman. He said if you're dropping as a candidate to Drake when Drake said I have no interest, that'd be great. He said Pei can't hack it either, and so like some people took that as he's saying both of you can't hack it. So he's kind of saying like both of you have no chance. You and page one are the weaklings of the Flying Six, and yeah. I feel like that doesn't really make sense because then why would he say him dropping out would be great? It would be relevant anyways. Then, you know what I mean?
We'd probably say it's Drake. It'd be great because it like what if Drake is like one of Kaido's favorites or something? You know?
Well, that depends because I saw like this Twitter post from Matt B. He was like replying to Anime Fan Talk. Anime Fan Talk was like saying all the Flying Six are commander level, and Matt B was like, we were just talking about hierarchy. They were the next in line. That doesn't say anything about strength. And I'm like, you can't assume either way because when what's his face? When Snack he got demoted, no one replaced him. So I feel like it's pretty fair to say Yonko Cruz have like a commander level of strength standard to like become a commander. So even if he's Kaido's favorite, which I don't know about that. Like if he's not up to the task of like,
could have been a possibility.
Yeah, I get you. I'm just saying like if he's not commander level, then I don't think Kaido would make him one regardless, because him and Apu seem pretty close, and Apu is still like, well, we don't know this for sure. It's kind of like a translation thing. Like Apu seems to be one of the numbers, or maybe he isn't. I don't really know.
You think Apu is one of the numbers?
Well, based on the way it was said, I forgot the exact quote, but that was like one of the arguments when the chapter came out. Like they were wondering if he was including himself when he was talking about the numbers, or if he was just talking about them.
I don't even remember Apu saying anything.
He did, right? Like when the numbers pulled up, wasn't there like someone reacting to them and scared?
Oh, you're talking about that chapter when they were first introduced. I thought you were talking about this chapter.
Yeah, no, that chapter.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know because I saw a post earlier, and I think it fits Oda's theme. You know, the way that he likes to drop little hints that lead you to believe that there's a certain correlation amongst a certain group. Somebody was pointing out the fact that there were some laughs with actual Japanese characters for numbers. And as far as I know, Apu's laugh is apapapa, but that doesn't include any number, as far as I know.
I don't know, because he would be a new recruit anyways. It's not like he's gonna change his laugh to be like part of their gag thing.
That's also true.
But I also feel like it is rather fitting for all the numbers to be like giant beasts or something. Like they're just all part of that group of giant beasts. So if I were to guess, I would say he's probably not a number, but he's not part of the Flying Six either, and he's not a commander, so I guess he's just a headliner, or maybe has a special rank. But regardless, like Kaido and Apu seem pretty close, and I don't think Apu would become a commander just because he's cool with Apu. Do you think, like, alright, let's say like none of the Flying Six are commander level. Do you think Kaido would appoint a new commander out of them, knowing that none of them are commander level?
I think it's a possibility. Like if one of them doesn't have a devil fruit and he has one on hand to give to them, then I could see it.
So you do think it's about strength then?
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be.
To some extent, yeah, for sure. Like I'm still thinking about the Big Mom situation because, okay, you can argue she already had three, so she's like fuck it, but the number three is kind of arbitrary in itself. Like I don't think like having two is the biggest deal out there. So like when Snack doesn't get a replacement, it just like tells me that you have to be of a certain standard of strength. But of course, the crew dynamics could be different. And if anything, like the crew dynamics being different, that might even like boost up my point because from what we've seen, Big Mom's crew is more impressive overall because she has like a lot of impressive mid tiers. While for Kaido's crew, like it was kind of missing. Maybe the Flying Six will fill that gap. Who knows? But I feel like right now, Big Mom's crew is more impressive, even though I think King is definitely stronger than Cat. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if I were to power scale these Flying Six, I would definitely have Drake as number one. I mean, you already see my Drake placement. I think he's on Cat's level. I have a lot of hope for this guy. I feel like he's going to be a future admiral. I feel like his fruit and his like natural durability is pretty insane. And he already showed a lot of good speed, being able to speed blitz Sanji in his slow form. So I do have hope for Drake. He didn't one shot Sanji, so like kind of holding out hope a bit. But you know, the hope's there. I feel like who's who.
Why do you just?
What I just what?
It's like you can't stand not to use Sanji as a way to bring people down, even the people that you like.
Bro, Drake literally fought Sanji. What do you mean?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, what? Why do you think Sanji is just so weak though? Like, what?
Well, how strong do you think Sanji is in comparison to Ichiji?
Instead of saying he couldn't one shot Sanji, that makes me question his placement. Why don't you just say, "Wow, Sanji must be pretty damn strong"?
Because he isn't.
For not being one shot.
Because he isn't.
But why not?
Okay, how strong do you think Sanji is in comparison to Ichiji? Because Cat pretty much one shot Ichiji. Do you think he's like miles stronger?
Well, miles, that's very subjective. I would rather put numbers on it. Like out of a scale of 100, if Ichiji is an 80, I would say Sanji is like the 85 or 86.
Okay, that's not that big of a difference. And Cat pretty much one shot Ichiji.
Well, it's not that big of a difference, but if Ichiji's 80, then I would say Cat's like a 95.
Okay, so that changes up the scale of things.
And I would put Drake at like 88 or 89 probably.
So, how do you think Cat versus Sanji goes down? Do you think he lasts more than one hit? Do you think he lasts more than 2, 3?
Yeah.
Because he pretty much got 2-shot by Dofi. He was like struggling to like retain his consciousness.
That's true. But I'm of the belief that Oda's gonna maintain his usual what's the word I'm looking for here? Well, the
usual standings, Monster 3 thing.
Not just that, but the way that he has to Straw Hats progress one arc after the other, regardless of what they do to progress. I think that's gonna remain a constant throughout the series. So
sure.
So I think the Sanji that we saw at Dressrosa is a completely different person from the Sanji that we see in Whole Cake Island.
Just like you think it's like multiple levels?
I wouldn't say multiple levels, but I think it's enough of a difference to be able to last against somebody like Doflamingo or Katakuri compared to being one shot by Doflamingo or 2 shot by Doflamingo.
I don't know about that, but I don't see why you would try to come at me for quote unquote shitting on Sanji when you already see like your argument is like very flimsy, and I have like good reason to believe that anyone like Cat level or around there can one shot Sanji. And I just place Drake that highly. So I'm not saying like if you can't one shot Sanji, you're not strong. I'm saying if you're like around Cat's level, then you should be able to one-shot someone like that.
But it's basically the same thing, isn't it?
What do you mean?
You're saying if you can't one-shot Sanji, then that doesn't mean you're not strong. But if you are Cat's level,
Well, strong is
which would
relative.
make you strong.
Like, Cat could be strong, but he's not strong compared to Kaido.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm basically saying, like, if you're first commander level, you should one-shot someone of Sanji's caliber. And that's why I'm saying, since Drake didn't do it, I'm, like, kind of weary about him. But at the same time, he is part of a sword. He has no reason to, like, want to take Sanji out because Kaido's crew is, like, the much stronger crew. He would want the Straw Hats to be as powerful as possible, so maybe they take out as much of Kaido's crew as possible. Like, there's no real reason to just beat the fuck out of Sanji there. I don't know.
Well, I could see that angle, but I could also see that he just simply wasn't strong enough to one-shot him.
I mean, possible. It was a tail whip at the same time. You know?
It was a tail whip from a strong nigga. So
Yeah, but that's like it's not quite like the jelly bean attack, but it's like nearing those levels.
Don't you dare.
I will dare.
The
I
jelly
dared,
bean was like,
and I'll continue
like a
to
jet
dare.
pistol.
Like a jet pistol?
Like less than a jet pistol. That tail whip, that's a big old tail. And a strong ass whip.
Okay, sure. I would agree with jet pistol, but jet pistol is like pretty much nothing compared to what Luffy can do.
Yeah, no, but tail whip is bigger than that.
But you're the one that made the comparison. So you don't think it's like comparable to jet pistol or like in terms of their movesets?
Nah. I think the tail whip is greater. Because I'm not one of the people that consider the animal forms for Zoan users as like way less than the human or the hybrid form.
Oh, so you're
like,
creditless.
I think it's actually a boost. I mean, I really don't see any reason to think that that it will lessen their power. Like,
I mean,
I don't understand why it would exist,
like overall,
if it lessens their
those
power.
forms are pretty trash. Well, depending on the fruit, of course. Like for Drake's fruit, it's definitely kind of trash
But why though?
because it's just very hard to maneuver in that form. Like he has the small ass hands. He's not really agile.
Isn't he agile? I mean, he outsped Sanji.
I mean, if he could do that in his big ass form, then what's he gonna do in his like hybrid form? You know?
He would be even more agile. But that doesn't mean that the animal form is weaker.
I mean, look at Jack. Like he just got fucking punked in his animal form, and what was his like response? I'm just gonna go in my human form then. Like he tried to.
He's more comfortable fighting in this human form. Maybe he's insecure.
He's insecure. I don't know. I just think from everything we've seen, the full animal forms have been pretty useless. Even for Kaido, his dragon form fucking sucks dick. Like it's complete trash.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
It's just something there so he could be a punching bag. It's literally all it is. He was a punching bag against Luffy, and like Luffy was actually like sending him flying. He wasn't trying, but Luffy could actually like send him flying more because he's not like as bulky in that form. Like he's more slender. He's like a fucking snake pretty much. Against Odin, he was basically just a free punching bag. Like Odin just one tapped him pretty much, and he had to immediately revert. It's just, and it's like another thing, like the giants, how they're so big. Like Oda kind of uses them as punching bags. Like it just seems like anyone who's like overly big, Oda just has them like fucking job or something.
Well, here's the thing with those two instances you just referred to, with Kaido versus Luffy when he's in his dragon form. He was airborne in his dragon form, and it's a lot easier to push something around when it's airborne compared to when they're stationary on the ground.
That's true. But still, you're
So
sending
that's
him
one
pretty
thing.
far.
And he was also drunk, not offering any sort of resistance either. So, like,
Pretty much the
I feel
same
like
as human form, though.
it's a few factors. And then against Odin, I mean, what I got from that fight was that they were fighting
Title
off screen before we actually got to see the cut or cuts, because it seemed like it was going for a while.
I mean, it would make sense that Odin's like kind of injured before that, if that interpretation is correct. But I forgot what exactly it was. There was like something in the chapter that made me dismiss that. But regardless, it just seems very weird for Odin to just speed blitz him and for Kaido to be completely helpless.
Well, I think it's very clear that Oda wasn't really trying to focus too much on the consistency of that moment.
At least give Odin like a mobile panel or something. Like just give him a mobile face and then have him do the slash. So you're like, okay, this is like a big slash. This is a big moment. It's probably like his strongest attack. But it just seems so casual.
I really hated that moment.
That moment is so trash, bro. Holy shit. But where did this all stem from? Oh yeah, Drake. So I have Drake as number 1 of the Flying Six. I'm guessing you do as well.
I think it's between him and Who's Who.
Are you someone that thinks Who's Who is Geen?
Nah.
I kind of do,
Nah,
to be
nah.
honest. Because I feel like it's a good time to
holding.
bring him back.
I think it's a great time to bring him back, but at this point, after seeing his face, well, I guess we didn't see his whole face, but we saw a bit of his face. I don't think it really matches up. Did Geen have big lips like that?
I think he did. I can look it up right now.
Oh, he did.
Yes, he did. I wouldn't necessarily call him big, but it kind of seems like the style is drawn the same way.
They're pronounced.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, so it could be him. And he also wore earrings, even though his earrings are different.
Yeah, but it at least like tells you he's someone that whose style involves like wearing earrings. Doesn't he have like Super Saiyan 3 hair? That's like the one thing that kind of threw me off.
I think so, but it has been 2 years.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I mean, I don't really have much substance to saying he's Geen. I just think it would be a good time to show him. So show him. And if it's Geen, I think it's Sanji's big fight for the arc. I don't think it would be Queen then. Which would be interesting because Sanji up against a swordsman, like, that doesn't usually happen. And against the competent swordsman too.
Yeah. Well, that would be assuming that Geen would maintain his character, but there's no telling how that would go.
Yeah, I guess he could just drop the sword and pick up that weapon that he had before. I forgot exactly what it was.
No, I'm referring to you saying competent.
Oh.
Because he showcased competence in Baratie, but there's no telling what Oda could do to him right now.
Yeah, but if he's who's who, he's probably fucking competent.
Prop. But I would have assumed that Brule and those other people in the mirror world who let it get taken by Chopper and Carrot were competent.
I never thought an old ass woman was competent. At least not like physically. Like, yeah, she had mirror Luffy and it could go up against Luffy, but pretty much the extent of my hopes for her. I definitely think who's who has like a different air to him.
That's a lot more than Chopper or Carrot hope to do, right?
I guess they were kind of just running in circles for like 11 hours.
Yeah, I mean that whole thing was pretty ridiculous to me.
But, yeah, I don't know what's worse, that or the trees saving Luffy for 11 hours, but it is what it is.
Hey man, King Bomb just top tier, bro.
King Bomb top tier, man. Top tier. Survived the slash from Big Mom.
Yeah, and he survived the slash from Cracker.
Man, those ones are so trash, bro. I don't even want to remember those shits.
What you mean? Real
Whole Cake Island was... Goddamn, bro. Whole Cake Island. I should make a fucking video on Whole Cake Island and just roast it like Double Leg did.
Yeah, you do that.
I do that.
It might blow up, man.
Maybe. If I fucking edit it, sure. Gotta learn how to edit.
I think Double Leg got like 2,000 views or something.
Yeah, you did. Though my videos are pretty fire and I don't get that many views, so I don't know. But
do you do any editing?
Nope. But I don't know if it's
what it is.
Yeah, it's probably that, and people just don't know me. They don't click on the video, I guess, or they don't even see the video. But it just seems like so weird for people to disregard the actual content of what someone's saying and like just look for an edited video. Like, I don't know, like even if videos are edited, I don't really pay attention to them. I would like have them on in the background while doing something else. But the One Piece fan base is a weird fan base. But yeah, let's talk about the Flying Six. So Drake and who's who top two? Do you think page one is the weakest?
I think that's fair.
He was
He seems
getting
like the
pretty
youngest.
shitted on by Sasaki, and he does seem young. Sanji couldn't even beat up a 14-year-old. Feels bad, man.
Yeah, he's hella cute. I wasn't expecting that.
He has like a, I don't even know what to call it. I guess like some new age rap type of outfit. Is that fair?
Do age rap.
These new age rappers all in these days wearing their gay clothing.
Is that what you call it? Nah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't say that. He looks like a mixture of that and like army chic. You know,
Army sheep?
chic.
Chic. Oh.
Yeah, chic.
Yeah, I could see it, I guess. But yeah, I definitely think he's the weakest. The only thing that would like even make me question that is like the other two are women. So it's like, is Oda really gonna make woman powerful? I mean, they might just go up against Robin and Nami. And like that would like definitely make you think like, are they really that strong?
I would hope that they are. I would definitely hope they are, but it's it remains to be seen. Oda's track record with women is not really it's not all that great.
Indeed. Indeed. Do you have hopes for Sasaki? Because I think we would both place
Yeah,
him in third place then.
yeah, I got pretty big hopes for him. What's good, man? It's good, Draco. You doing all right, dude?
What's up, Draco?
Yeah, bro. I'm dying, but I think I got the Rona.
Oh shit. Is
You
your
got
throat acting
corona?
up?
Nah, like I have my entire body aches. I have
Hmm.
flu. I think
That's
everybody in my family
that's
has it.
interesting.
Tough.
But we're talking about the Flying Six right now. Did you read the last chapter?
Nah, I heard about it though. Like, that nigga sucking up Drake, man. Drake is just the same level as Page One.
Bro, don't tell me you're one of those guys. Come on now.
Nah, bro. Like, he's cool and all, but like, he's not like commander level. That's tough.
Well, I already have him over Cat, even
Yeah,
before
that's
this
crazy.
chapter.
Yeah,
But
you had him.
this is the reason they call him commander level. It's because one guy was saying, if Queen were to die, say tonight, who would be the next lead performer? And this chick was like, I'm guessing you think it's yourself. And Drake's like, I have no interest.
Yeah.
And so it sparks like this whole discussion, like, is it just because they're next in the hierarchy and like Kaido will take them just to have three, or is there like a commander level standard of strength to become a commander?
That's true. I feel like it's the latter. It's like it's not like the Flying Six was it the former, I guess. The Flying Six is a bit of both. The Flying Six are the ones under the top three, and then amongst them, there's probably like a couple of people capable of taking over that spot.
Yeah, because on Twitter, like AFT was like, he was on one side acting like it was fact. He's like, all the Flying Six, they're confirmed commander level, and Matt B was like, it was nothing about strength. It was just about because they're next up in line in the hierarchy. And I'm like, you can't be sure of either because for Snack, when he got demoted, no one replaced him.
Yeah,
But
I feel like people could
maybe
have
Kaido's
replaced
crew
him.
works different. What were you saying?
I think that someone could have replaced Snack, but they just didn't. I don't know why the detail is that. Maybe they just didn't want to or something. Same way with Page One, have no interest.
I mean, I think Perospero could have replaced him
Yeah,
probably.
that's the guy. Yeah, that's the guy I'm thinking about. Like, he's nasty.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I don't think
Yeah,
Oven
but
and
like
Daifuku
I
would be
think
worthy replacements.
yeah, definitely no way. And Alvin no way either. I just take L's. He's tanky, I guess, but that's about it. But like going back to the Flying Six, I think that not all of them are commander level, but like there's like hierarchy inside them as well. Like some like they could be like the top, the strongest one is barely commander level, and like the last one is not commander level at all. So it's just like there's like a Venn diagram overlap. Like some of them are commander level, some aren't.
Well, you'll probably find this funny. They were shitting on page one as if he was the weakest. And on top of that, page one looks kind of like a teenager, like a little kid.
Where is this? I can't tell what page one is. Oh, this is page one? No way!
Yeah, cute as hell, ain't
Dude, that's crazy. Definitely probably the youngest one.
Are you looking at the pic I sent? Because it doesn't really show him.
No, the one like I'm looking at the the last panel where they're all sitting down. You wrote this gives me heavy Phantom Trope vibes. Like the designs. Like the Uriti on page one, they're all kids. You have like X Drake and Sasuke, the elders, like the chicks.
The more info we get, Draco, the worse it gets. Like, not only is it pretty much confirmed that Sanji didn't like beat the shit out of page one, but page one's like 14 now too. Like that's definitely tough.
Yeah, I think like that shit was
Page one's a
page
prodigy.
one. Page one not being the strongest and doing that to Sanji raises up the flying six. Like they're actually people to worry about. They're not fought out. They're like probably give like Luffy and like Zoro like good fights. I don't know about like probably like mid diff, like low high diff, maybe like the strongest one.
I don't know. I'm one of those people that think who is Gin. So I feel like he's probably gonna fight Sanji. That's gonna be
again.
yeah.
Yo, that's be sick. People were saying that about his shoes, right? Is he the one that has the weird shoes?
He's the one with the
Yeah.
mask.
Yeah, he has the shoes as well. That's actually sick. I don't like. I thought Sasuke would be page one. Look at seeing how page one was fat in the anime. Like
Yeah.
page one looks.
Sasuke
freaking
looks like
fire.
fucking Fishman Shooting Maru and also
Yeah.
gay.
You say he looks gay?
Yeah, do you not agree?
No.
I don't know, maybe it's the hairstyle plus the earrings. He looks like a fucking dyke, bro.
Wow. Yeah, I think I can see that, but aren't dykes manly? So I don't see how that make him look gay.
So he's like the inverse of a dyke. He's an actual man, but he's womanly. That's Sasaki, and he might fight Shutenmaru, which is like rip Shutenmaru hype. But yeah, we'll see.
What?
We'll see how much they get hyped up.
Why would that mean? RIP
Apparently,
shooting tomorrow hype.
Because gay people can't be strong.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
Bro, imagine losing to a gay guy in a fight. Like, could never be me.
Apparently, the Viz translation came out. Hold on. And then they were saying that like it wouldn't be you page one, and they're like, nah, I'm not interested. And then the chick says, not page one, but like X-ray, and the chick says, page one won't be able to hack it. So basically saying he's not strong enough. I'll link it for you.
Yeah, I posted the panel in general.
Oh, you
They call him Pepe.
Pepe. That's kind of like as if he's the younger cousin, and they just call him like a cute nickname.
I feel like maybe because he's young, he won't be able to do it. But I feel like he's definitely like not the weakest at all. I don't think Page One's the weakest. If he's gonna get Sanji's fight as well.
I mean, if he's not the weakest, then it's only because there's women in the group.
That's facts. And maybe like the gay guy you said.
Yeah, maybe him too. But the way he was talking down on him, it would kind of be a fucking letdown if he's weaker than him.
I don't even know. Like, I feel like talking down shouldn't be used as maybe people are just like cocky as well, you know.
And they're just gakways. I don't know. I don't really get that vibe here, because Page One seems to be like not respected by the whole group.
I feel like they pick on him, like, but then just because you get picked on doesn't mean you like aren't like maybe he just like has a different personality to where they just don't take him seriously. But when it comes to like fighting other people, you fuck them up.
Yeah, it's just that trope. Like, if someone picks on you and you don't fight back, usually you're the type to be a weak person.
Seriously, shut up.
Well, he's like that like younger cousin. Like, he's not telling him shut up in a way like where king or queen would talk to each other. Just like, shut up, man, stop it. You know?
I'm actually so hyped for this. These designs are kind of fire,
bro. Man, these designs are all ass except for Drake's. Who is like okay. To be honest, actually, no. One of the women's designs is cool.
You don't like them?
The chick.
I like Black Maria's design.
Yeah, the one that's dripping.
You said they're all ass.
Yeah, I went back on that. Drake's is fucking awesome, of course. Black Maria's is like a 6 out of 10, or maybe a 7.
Come on, why do they all have horns? They're like. I guess Page One doesn't actually have horns, and Black, what's his name? Who doesn't actually have horns? But like the Sasuke, Black Maria, and Naruto have actual horns. It could be also all elephant zones.
Well, it looked like Sasuke's might be connected to his hat.
It looks like a bone though. Like the other ones look like that.
I don't know, because if it's like something he's wearing on his hat, just so he's like part of that trope, then why wouldn't Drake have something like that?
Yeah, Drake seems to be like the last one that joined. In a sense, like these are like knew each other for a long time, and Drake is like the hot shot that is joining, is not conforming to their shit.
I don't
Yeah.
know. That would be a question for Oda.
Drake has like respect like within the group though.
Yeah. Some people are arguing that the Sasaki guy, he thinks Drake isn't that strong either. Because, what do you say? He's like, page one can't hack it either, implying they both can't hack it.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think that makes it like that's a big point to like argue against people saying he means they're not strong enough. He feel like he doesn't have the aptitude for it. Doesn't mean they're not strong enough to do it. Just like there's more to it than just being strong. Like Page One has his own unique skills as well that makes him terrifying on top of his strength.
I could see that for Drake, where he's like, you don't have the ambition, so you're not worthy, so you can't hack it. But for page one, I just think he's talking about strength.
Yeah, the fact that he said he grouped them together. You're right. I mean, it could be for different reasons, but as a page one, not a fan, but like a apologist, I want to not think that. Page wasn't about to fucking beat up Sanji.
My main argument for saying like he's not saying Drake is weak is because he's saying it'd be great if he's dropping out.
That's
because
true.
if he's too weak to become one, why would it be great? Like it wouldn't matter anyways.
Yeah, but maybe he's like the only dragon. He's the only not dragon dinosaur zone. Oh no, Page One is the only dinosaur. I guess maybe they're the only two dinosaur zones. Like I guess Kaido has affinity for dinosaur zones, something. But that can't be it.
Yeah, I just see Kaido as the type to like value strength above all in his rankings.
Dude, the Flying Six are gonna be a problem. Dude, I'm like happy that like these guys are like, but at the same time I'm not happy because we already have too much people to fight. I mean, the fact that Samurai sucked makes me happy that also Page One and like Flying Six out there.
I'm just happy because it makes it more likely for Sanji to not fight Queen, and the agenda can continue, boys.
I don't even think like definitely not fighting Queen. Like the way the fight ended with Page One makes it seem like he's definitely like, and the way that the Flying Six got like pushed out like this, they're like actual problems. He's definitely fighting one of these people.
Yeah, I feel like it's probably gonna be Page One rematch, and like he beats him mid diff or something, like upper mid, and then he makes his way up to Gin.
So you like Matt V? Like I was in the stream with Matt V, and you're saying next time we fight, Page One, Sanji's gonna mid diff him. He can definitely mid diff him. Like, what are you talking about?
I mean, Page One looked more impressive in the manga, but in the anime, the way like he couldn't really hit Sanji at all is just very. It leaves a lot to look forward to.
Sanji grabbed him.
He grabbed him. It was even more impressive in the manga because it's not like he just grabbed him. He straight overpowered him.
Yeah.
Just swatted him away. Like, fuck out of here.
He definitely has. And like, do you think that sword is Page One's or is it the Who's Who?
Definitely Who's Who's.
But why would Who's Who be Gin then? Because like, he was like, Gin didn't he fight with like nunchucks or something like that?
He fought with Tonfa.
Yeah, two things.
Yeah, that's one of the things I mentioned earlier with Steve-O, and I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe change the style, who knows.
And the hair, is that kill his older brother or something? What the fuck?
Super Saiyan 3 out here. The only thing is his lips look kind of similar. That's it. And he's also wearing earrings, even though they're different earrings.
And the fact that he's covering his face, like, suspicious.
Yeah. So
I was just like, Page was saucy, bro. Like, I did not think the small kid would like, because his what's the hybrid zone form? He's a muscular dude. Where's the muscle coming from?
And like, he just seems such a difference in character. Like, when he was in his first appearance, he just seemed like the savage, like I'm gonna kill anyone, like Jack type. And then just like Jack, now he's like a little bitch when he's up against like when he's sitting with actual strong people.
And I feel like his temperament is like subdued here in comparison to his like form. He just said like, "Hey, shut up! Seriously, shut up!" Like he's like begging out to like be quiet.
Yeah, he's like sweating and shit. He's like, "Just chill, bro. Just chill."
Definitely a good Sanji fight then.
Yup, of course.
Yeah, fact. They go get bodied.
So where are you guys at in the list? Do you guys just like have a chapter discussion, not like a tier list?
We basically just talked about Struesen and then the Flying Six. So we're around like A- tier. We can talk about Yasop and Lucky Root.
Where do you have the Flying Six though? Like if you add them to the list, even though you don't know anything about them.
Who's Who? I would have them at either C or C plus.
That's
Uh,
crazy. It's
Sasaki
like,
probably C, Page 1 a tier below C, and the woman like around in that tier, maybe even below that.
what? So like,
You
XJ
disgust
can
me.
solo all of them 1v5?
Yes, bro. X Drake greatness out here. What the fuck?
That's great. That's great.
Future admiral in the making.
Disgust me.
And like they already seem to have a lot of respect for X Drake, and then like something else to consider is he's in sword, so maybe he's like hiding his full capabilities. In fact, I'd bet on that. So
Yeah.
I feel like they have like a lot of respect for a version of X Drake that's like heavily nerfed compared to what he can really do.
I feel like why would he nerf himself though? Wouldn't it be better for like us?
Well,
Like
he already
his
has
whole
no interest in becoming one of the commanders. So I think like he's kind of playing low key. He doesn't want to like
yeah,
bring too much attention on him.
because he would have immediately made commander if he showed his actual strength. Like Kaido said, "Yo, become commander."
Yeah, probably.
Thing about that though is why wouldn't he want to be commander? Isn't the whole point of the sword is to get close to Kaido, get information? Maybe he
I don't
thinks
know.
that his position currently is like a way better. He
Maybe
has
if he
more
gets too
like
close, then Kaido will like try to get closer to him and like ask him questions, and he feels like maybe he'll let on something. I don't know.
but yeah, think of the chapter.
Pretty ass. Do you really want to talk about it though, instead of talking about the
Uh,
power thing?
I was just
You thought
wondering.
the chapter was ass?
Yes. The only thing that even remotely interested me was the power dynamics.
You know,
This is what you were talking about, Kinemon and his Denjiro. That's what I guess you.
Yeah, the Denjiro thing was also kind of interesting in the first translation. It like switched up and shit. But yeah, we don't have to go into that. So Yasop, I used to think he was trash. I used to like I couldn't even see him going up against Jack because I'm like snipers are just so garbage. Like their weapons are the biggest handicap because these people can fight at great speeds, and obviously the speed of a sniper's attack is gonna be like bound to how powerful their weapon is. Like if you have a gun, you like it doesn't matter how accurate you are, how skilled you are, like it's still gonna shoot at that same speed, and it should be a speed that like powerful fighters can easily avoid. Like snipers might have great observation, but like that's just such a big handicap that I can't ever see them being a real problem. Like maybe some of them have like special attacks like Usopp's like green bit attacks or whatever those were. And those could be powerful. Apparently we saw in Stampede, Usopp he like brought that fucking that plant thing and it just destroyed one of those mech arms, even though Gear 4 couldn't do shit to them. So I'm like, is this where Oda's gonna go with snipers? He's just gonna give them fucking OP tools and make them like not make it not even about their skill. It's just they have like overpowered as fuck weapons and then they just use them and that's it. So I don't know where Oda's going with snipers in general, but the main reason I hype up Yasop is because he's apparently Vista's rival. I think it was like in the data book or something along those lines. And he was also shown with a sword once. So I think he has a lot of flexibility. Like he can use his sniping abilities, and then if you fight him up close, he can also pull out the sword. And he's a comparable combatant to even Vista with a sword. But I think Vista's better. So that's why I would place him like so high, like even on cat tier. But if he wasn't a swordsman as well, I would not place him that high, honestly. So what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I feel like the fact that he's been given that clout of being Fista's rival as a swordsman, and knowing how strong Fista is,
Mm-hmm.
in conjunction with his sniper skills, is basically why I went from like saying there's no way he beats any commander in like a fight, saying that yo, he's probably strong. Maybe he did have like a reason to be up there. He's a support character without being a swordsman, but I feel like he still consistently stick with his sniping unless it becomes like a melee where he has to bring out his sword and he
Yeah.
can show his skills.
What do you think about my idea that like just the speed of snipers' attacks are nerfed? Because you would think that's like obvious, unless like there's some like amazing fucking technology for guns or something.
Yeah.
But the biggest
That
thing
makes
you can argue against that is like Oven. He kind of got speed blitzed by a cannon, and you're like, how the fuck does a cannonball speed blitz someone of Oven's caliber? Like, is the cannonball that Capone's shooting like is it just that fast? Like, is the technology just that great? Like, what's happening?
of
yeah.
course.
I just think that what's the word? The fact that snipers are just like even pre time skip, like early post time skips, which already just you already have a counter for them, which is observation hockey. And like people have enough speed to dodge bullet speed time skip, and as long as they know it's coming with observation hockey, should have no problem dodging it. And then another problem I hate about snipers is that the only way to like combat that is to upgrade the sniper, and I feel like upgrading the sniper isn't really upgrading the skill. So like I
Yeah,
feel like
but it
it's a
has to
cheap
come
way
down
of
to that if
powering up.
guns are that trash. And I guess Thibault thinks there's like a massive difference between a top tier gun. It travels like 1,000 times faster or something.
Yeah, and that makes me just like give that gun to Usopp, then he's a commander level now. That
That's
part I don't
that's that's the only logical assumption to make.
yeah, which I
The
don't
thing with
like
Usopp
though.
is he isn't even going to use a gun most likely. He's just going to use a slingshot.
Yeah, but let's say he obviously has a talent to be a sniper, right? Let's say you give him Yasav's gun, and like I mean minus the swordsman shit, which was like so that makes him like a commander level now. That's why I think he needed something like swordsmanship to like crazy hockey, or maybe like there's another level to observation hockey to where you can suppress someone else's observation hockey. I don't know, dude. The sniping is in such a bad place right now,
Yeah, I definitely agree.
especially with future sight. Like what? There's no way you get hit in any top tier that has like not even
But
top
people are
tier.
going to argue like snipers have some of the best observations. So we don't even really know how observation works, but they'll say something like they'll know that you're going to dodge in this way, and then they'll attack in a way that's going to like hit you where you're going to be.
Yeah, so they have their own future sight, but I don't know how that compares. I mean, I
Yeah,
feel
with
like
other future sight.
yeah, like because if they like it's weird. Like that's why future sight is so convoluted. Like let's say I predict where you're gonna be and I shoot there, didn't I just create like a new scenario? So like that me throwing that first one never happens. The only thing that happened is me throwing the second one. And they can easily just dodge that with the whole jelly bean shit, right? I don't know.
It's weird because like they read the first scenario. So let's say you're going for a punch, they read what you're about to do with the punch. But then if you see them dodge, maybe you activate your future sight, and you're gonna see like mid punch they're gonna dodge. So then you change the trajectory of your punch, and now they activate their future sight again, and they see that you're gonna
That's what
punch in
I'm
this
saying.
way
Yeah.
now.
Thing is,
Even like without talking about future sight, it's kind of the same with regular observation because you
yeah,
can sense what they're gonna do at the same time.
that's what I'm
So
saying. Like you're gonna sense the second one too. What's stopping you from sensing the second one as well? And like let's talk about future sight, right? Let's say they see the first one and they activate the future sight, they're gonna miss that one. It's probably a cooldown in the future sight, so they have no idea if the second one's gonna hit or not. Which is why Cat was so like surprised that Sanji dodged, because he had no idea he was gonna dodge. He just didn't know his observation skill was that good to where he can freaking see. I don't know why he was surprised he dodged. I guess he just didn't know he had observation hockey. I don't know why that changes anything.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe Cat's actually so stupid that well, it's not even Cat being stupid, I guess, because well, in a way it is, yeah, because he didn't know Sanji knew about the plan, but at the same
Yeah,
time, Sanji already dodged a gunshot, right? So he should be on guard, even if he didn't know. Like now, he's on guard, so you
yeah.
should know that he's gonna have his observation active.
That's why I'm like, I remember I had an argument with people about how that feat is like so overhyped because like why does it matter if Katakuri has future sight? At the end of the day, he's launching an attack that Sanji can also see. Like someone's future sight doesn't affect someone else's observation hockey. They're two different. They're not connected.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he just dodged an attack that Katakuri had no idea it was going to land because he didn't look in the future for that attack.
Well, he should be able to see that he's going to use observation to dodge it, right?
Well, I think he just
But he,
didn't see far enough. Like he just saw he dodged the first attack, and then he's got cocky. He's like, okay, I'll just attack then, and then he didn't bother to look into the future again.
I feel like he just couldn't because I don't think it's like even if he could, what's stopping him from dodging? Like he'll dodge that one too. Sanji's on guard, right? It's his observation hockey is still going on. He'll dodge both.
Well, the priest never got the chance to shoot. I think y'all are remembering the events wrong.
Yeah,
He didn't
but like
dodge the
the intention
gunshot,
of
and
it is
then
that
Katakuri took action. He saw
Oh
Sanji
yeah, yeah.
dodging the
He
gunshot.
saw
That's
him
why he
dodging the
took
gunshot.
action.
that's what I'm saying, right? Like so at the end of the day, Sanji only had to worry about one attack. And what's stopping Sanji, who has observation hockey, to dodge one attack? Why does Future Sight somehow make it like surprising that someone dodged an attack? Is my whole like question.
Well, maybe he thinks
Okay.
that since Sanji he didn't actually dodge the gunshot, that he's not aware yet. He just has like the reactions to dodge that gunshot. So he's like he won't be ready for my attack, so he didn't bother to see like what happens if he actually attacked him. He just thought, okay, I have to attack him. That's it.
My theory on that is like maybe what you're saying is right. I feel like the second he changes the future that was supposed to happen, he's not able to see that future. It's like a new thing that just happened. Because it seems like everything else you have to like look at it beforehand, and the fact that he couldn't look at it beforehand because he just changed it that instant makes it impossible for him to use his future sight.
Yeah, I
So
definitely
like I
think
was
like there's something to your argument. Like I don't think if they're fighting, like they just see like 38 steps into the future because every time like someone makes a different
Yeah.
movement compared to what they're gonna do, like they now look again into the future, and it's like
Yeah,
a
so, like,
fucking chess game, like hundreds of steps into the future
no
or
one's
some shit
gonna
like
attack.
that.
It's gonna take an hour for someone to attack. Make one attack.
They're just constantly changing the way their punch is going.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it becomes an attack that someone else can also see. So like, crazy. Which I don't understand how like Luffy was able to somehow use his own like. I feel like he just all that happened was he had just gained better observation hockey. His observation hockey was fine tuned enough to be able to dodge shit now. But I don't know why. Like we're talking about Katakuri, right? Or is like already Katakuri? We already talked about it.
We were talking about Yasop, but I think we
Yeah.
pretty much had to say everything.
Yeah. So like Katakuri, why is like Luffy somehow learning Future Sight? Makes him able to hit Katakuri. I don't understand. That just never makes
Yeah,
sense to me.
it's just so vague, bro.
Yeah. Because like at the end of the day, Katakuri also has Future Sight, and if they both have Future Sight, it comes down to who can dodge the fastest. So yeah, we're saying that.
Well, the way I took
just
it is Luffy has Future Sight and his Snake Man is like faster than Cat, so it's like a combination of those two. But I can't
Yeah.
really. It's like hard to see how like normal observation interacts with Future Sight in that regard.
So like, let's say he had Snake Man the entire time, and then he has regular observation hockey. Couldn't Snake Man be so fast that even if Katakuri can see it, he can somehow still hit him? And then Luffy has observation hockey to dodge the attacks that what's his name that Katakuri is sending out the same way with the jelly bean.
Yeah, that brings into the whole thing. Like, what's even the difference between Future Sight and regular
Yeah,
observation, other than like you just see it instead of sensing it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Luffy's version of Future Sight is sensing anyway. He doesn't even see it. He sees blobs, which is exactly how observation hockey was portrayed initially. And
Yeah.
Sanji has that too. He senses people's emotions, which what Luffy has. Maybe just a higher degree. It's like more defined.
Whatever. I just feel like there's inconsistencies, and there's no point even talking about it.
Like the worst thing they added since I don't know a long time. I should ask. I like Ryo so much better.
Do you have anything to say, Steve, about Yasop?
Well, for me personally, I think that his position is justified. Because Shanks is commanders, they seem to have a higher standard for them.
Yeah, they did
Along
get
with
like
the
special
fact
clout.
That he's Usopp's father, and I think that the main character relation, it means a lot for a person's stock in the future of the series.
Yeah, it's
Especially
something
in
we
relation
forgot
to
to bring up. Like, I think it's pretty evident that Usopp's gonna surpass him. So then I guess it depends on how you see EOS Usopp.
Yeah.
I feel like you learn like fighting skills, like hand-to-hand combat. Maybe take a sword as well or something.
I don't know. Oda did say you'll always be like the weakest physically or something, and like it doesn't really fit Usopp's character.
I keep hearing that was a fake interview or something.
Was it? I don't know.
That's what I keep hearing, but I don't know what that's true though.
Because like back when we first had the Usopp versus Sanji like end of series debates, and like they kept bringing that up, and like Dan and CGK like they didn't go to that for their argument. They weren't like this is fake, and you would know like they're like the biggest Usopp stan, so they would research this. So if there's a possibility of it being fake, like a good possibility, that's the first thing they'll jump to. They're like, it's fake, 100%, it's fake, no doubt.
I feel like the argument of the Sanji in the series was after. I'm thinking differently. It was after. It was before. I mean, the interview. So maybe I never saw the interview.
I feel like that interview was a long time ago, though.
I don't
like
know.
A long time ago.
If that was true.
But yeah, whatever.
But like Yasop being mentioned by like the Gorosei, not Gorosei, but like those guys in Marines, he gotta be a monster. Just hope that it's more to do with some other shit than just him having an amazing weapon that he bought.
Yeah.
I just asked.
It does hype him a lot because it says a lot when you hype someone up by hyping the people around them. Like, let's say like someone was trying to hype up like the BDA group, and they're like, "Yo, don't fuck with Brago. This nigga got like he got Quietly, he got Matt B, he got Corey. Like, you don't want to fuck with this guy." Like, if the first thing you go to is mentioning like the people around him. What'd you say, Steve?
Who said what?
I'm saying like the way that they hyped up Shanks by mentioning his boys, like it kind of speaks volumes if like the first thing you think of when you hype someone up is the people around them.
Yeah.
So I guess they should be really powerful. For sure. I'm still not sure where end of series Usopp is gonna be, but I do have some faith. I guess I don't even know if he's gonna be stronger than Jinbei, and I'm not even sure if Jinbei's peaked yet, so that plays into it. But I don't know. We'll see. I could see Usopp being first commander level end of series. I might like turn a leaf and be one of the EOS Usopp over EOS Sanji people. You never know.
Yeah, Sanji's command peak is also first commander, so it could be around the same level.
Now I'm not saying Sanji's weak, but all I'm saying is current Dofi over EOS Sanji. Book it.
Nah, hell no. Sanji's peak is first commander level, which is over Sanji. It's over though.
Either way, if that's the case, that'll be hilarious. Like, just genuinely hilarious. But Lucky Roo.
Gold is not even hiding it anymore, bro. Who could even hurt page 1? It's supposed to be command level? My ass.
Yeah, it's been pretty funny. I've enjoyed it. But Lucky Roo, I guess a lot of the same things. I feel like he definitely can tussle with his fists, though he seems like he's adept at being a sniper as well. I don't know, like he's weird.
His weapon of choice is a chicken drumstick.
On some Bacchus shit? Yo.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking about. This fuck you up. Belly flop too.
It said like Zoro, he's the fighter of the crew, so he probably prefers fighting the most. He's like a genuine warrior type.
He's the second to Ben Beckman.
I agree.
Ben Beckman is like special though. Like it's not like he's like above regular first commander. So like, what's his name would be a first commander.
Yeah. I'm still not sold on him because I'm very like iffy with people with shit designs and like very wacky designs, but I don't know. I feel like he'll be legit.
Thing, like the shittier design, the more strong you are.
Not necessarily, but he has had moments, of course, where people with shitty designs are strong. Do you guys want to talk about Magellan? I feel like we already went over him.
I think he slept on, dude. Why is like going this especially like you have Shiryu. What tier is that? I think S minus, but Magellan's A minus. I feel like that's kind of he definitely should be like maybe at most a tier below Magellan. I mean, Shiryu even with the double fruit.
Well, I guess I would be fine with putting Magellan at A. My reasoning is that I feel like Shiryu, along with everyone in the Blackbeard Pirates, they made gains during the time skip. So I could see Shiryu being an A minus pre-time skip and then jumping up to A like midway through the time skip during the Payback War. And then like when the time skip is like over, he's A plus, and then because of the Invis fruit, now he's S minus. That's how I would reason it. My main thing about Magellan is like, I don't know, the way he got sent on his knees by a jet bazooka, was it? And like he got sent flying by Gear 3rd from like pre-time skip Luffy. Like I get that.
Blocked it like earlier, like after.
He got sent flying by Gear 3rd.
He did, didn't he?
I don't recall that.
I thought he like blocked it with his hand. Blocked the Gear 2nd, third attack with his hand. After like.
I'm talking about like the jet stamp at the end when he got the what was that thing from Mr. 3 on him?
The wax.
Yeah, the wax. Didn't he send him flying like into the wall?
No, he blocked that.
I don't recall.
Blocked the wax attack. That's crazy. That's like another thing where like, I'll get the clip, but he gets on his knees by a jet pistol or whatever, and then he comes back and blocks a stronger attack. I was like, what? Was he trolling first time?
Yeah.
Either way,
I bring that up in arguments, but for some reason, people still try to maintain that Magellan's durability is shit for whatever reason.
Well, since this is pre-time skip Luffy, it definitely still is very unimpressive. The main argument I think you can go against that is even Garp. He was like bleeding from pre-time skip Luffy, so power scaling is definitely out of whack. So you can argue it's the same for both of them. But
you could just say Oda sometimes just really don't care to keep things consistent, which I think is pretty evident.
Same thing,
flying, but like into the wall. His Hydra got sent into the wall. He's like big poison for him.
Yeah, same shit, pretty much.
Like gigantic stomp. Yeah.
But the reason I would put more fault on Magellan than Garp for that is because Garp is obviously a physical fighter. So I feel like, of course, his durability should be top tier, especially when he hockeys up. But for Magellan, it's pretty evident that he relies on his fruit. So it would make sense for him to physically be weaker than some of these other powerful people. I don't necessarily like go completely like in depth with that analysis. Like I don't say like, okay, he got hurt by a jet pistol from a pre-gears Luffy, Cat's one-shotting him. Like I don't go that far. But I'm just like thinking of it as like, okay, maybe this is an indication that he's not like super powerful physically.
Yo, this dude like casually blocked champion rifle with like clay on it, candle on it. Magellan's not weak physically, but going back to what I was saying about him, he had, you know how they said hockey blooms at extreme situations. He had his ass kicked near death or whatever. He was about to kill himself. He took a humongous L. I feel like he punished himself by making himself vice warrior. I like that drive is like Luffy saying, "I have to be strong to protect my crew" type shit, and he got stronger all because of it, because that humongous L he had.
It's possible. If that was the case, I would definitely put him at A tier.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's what I'm holding on to.
Another thing is like the real, like, does it completely counter his shit?
That's that sucks. I remember those 2016, 2015 debates. Like, how's Luffy gonna fight Magellan? He's gonna go poison. Like,
How's Shanks gonna fight Magellan, bro? He's just gonna get poisoned.
yeah, exactly. Now they have a Rio.
Feels bad for Magellan, man. We don't even know how that interaction works really, but if it's like a force field around you, then yeah, the poison isn't technically touching you.
What's crazy though is that wouldn't Blackbeard have that too? Unless he just didn't have it for time scale.
He might not have, but he's been around for so long, and Rio should be like fairly well known amongst like top pirates. So you would think he would.
Whitebeard pirate for 40 years, yeah. 30 years. Yeah, it's crazy. He definitely should have it, unless he just never learned it. That's kind of whack.
He probably just couldn't react fast enough to activate it.
Yeah. He did just walk up to him though, like, do you not know who Magellan is?
He walked up to him like, I have the counter to your fruit, and then he just didn't use it.
Yeah, that's it. It was whack. Yeah, it's fair what you have him. I personally would have him a tier above that. But having him A- just like the last time we saw him. He is like on the same level as Ryu, Kataku, which is like definitely worth. Yeah, also, the fact, yeah, Vista and Jozo above Lucky Roof was like just probably one of the strongest Yonkos as a fighter.
I rate them very highly.
Yeah,
I feel like you can argue they're comparable to Marco, like on his level and shit.
It's opposite to a lot of people that think that Jozo and Vista are like probably the weakest commanders.
That's crazy. Jozo's physical feats were like immense. And apparently there was like something in the Viri card that said like his strength was like top class or like top tier or something.
Yeah. He did get like one of his best attacks got tanked by Crocodile.
0.2%, not even 2%. You know how it goes. Oh, here it is.
Wait, is that Teach with the darkness fruit at A+?
Yeah.
Then why you got Ace at C+?
Because Ace sucks dick. But I feel like it's a trend with Blackbeard. Like, all of his showings are pretty garbage, but he did get a lot of hype for his Shanks interaction, so I feel like it plays into what Whitebeard said about him just being cocky and like getting caught off guard and shit. Like, at the beginning of the Ace fight, he didn't even really do anything. He just stood there and took the attacks. And like, it seemed like he was hurt, but he wasn't really, because that's a Blackbeard thing. And then once Blackbeard started trying, he pretty much dominated him. And then off-screen fight, we don't know what happened. And then Blackbeard won.
Well, he was hurt.
Yeah, but like,
that's like compare that to him getting hit by like Whitebeard and he was chilling. He was hurt, but like,
the thing with Blackbeard is like, it seems like he's like hurt a lot, and then it just ends up not being the case.
Well, I can understand you're saying it's like he over exaggerates a bit.
Yeah, he embellishes it for sure.
I think it's a lot. Like, the way he acts, it's like this devastated him, and then he gets up as if like he can take another 300 of those.
Well, that just speaks to his endurance, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, that's one of the main things that people thought Ace is so impressive against him, because he was on the floor rolling in pain. But I'm saying he's so, like, he has so much endurance.
Well, it's not just that.
Oh, what else?
It's also the fact that he seems to have went the distance with him.
I mean, we don't know how long it lasted.
Attacks. Yeah, we don't know how long it lasted. But why would you assume that it was like not a considerable time if it was off screen? And it seemed like it was a considerable clash between the two, looking at all the damage that was caused.
I mean, they could cause that damage in a very short amount of time. Like, I can see Ace fighting him for like a few minutes and like just desperately trying to do something, and Blackbeard is like countering everything. I don't know. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, there's no reason to assume either way, But I'm just like thinking about how dominant
I
of
feel
a
like you just don't
performance it
like
was.
Ace the same way that you just don't like Sanji.
I like Ace. What do you mean?
You said Ace is dick.
I said he sucks dick.
Well, same difference.
I
That
mean,
doesn't sound like something that somebody who doesn't like Ace would say. I mean, who does like Ace would say.
he's just kind of trash. It is what it is. He's not a powerful fighter. I kind of like his character. I'm not like a big Ace fan or anything. I like his
How is he
decision to.
not a powerful fighter?
Comparatively, bro. Comparatively.
Yes, everything is
If-
relative, Steve-O. Young Padawan.
Yeah, but he's fighting against Teach though.
And he
If
lost.
somebody, oh, okay, people lose
And
fight.
that's like not even close to prime Teach like he is now.
Yeah, I would
But we're
say
not
that's like
talking
a
about Prime
lower
Teach,
end
we're
of mid
talking about
diff,
that
and Blackbeard wasn't going anywhere near all out. That's my take on the fight.
But how can you say he wasn't going anywhere near all out?
Because he could have just used that like big darkness attack and just like sucked him in, like not really like put him into another universe or anything. But I feel like if he was going all out, Ace wouldn't have landed a single attack. He would have just sucked in everything. And I guess that's kind of what happened before the fight got off screened.
Hello,
But
hello.
what's up?
Okay, my alarm went off just now, so I don't know if you said something, but in that little 5 second.
I was saying that if he was going all out, then he would just counter every single flame attack, like he wouldn't get hit once. And I guess you could say that's what happened during the off screen, and that's why he was saying Ace is a powerful combatant without the fire fruit. But like I said, like Blackbeard just had like a dominant showing, other than like the early portions. So I have no reason to really give
But we
Ace the
didn't
benefit
see
of the
the
doubt.
other portions, though. I don't understand how you come to this conclusion.
Well, we saw the ending, and Blackbeard was pretty much dominant in the ending. We saw what happened after their off-screen fight. Ace was
The
on his
very
knees.
end was just that one clash. It was the big darkness ball and Entei. That was it.
It's clear.
all we
It's
saw
clear
there.
Blackbeard won that by like a mile. I mean, Ace's dumbass is
A
here like,
mile?
okay, Ace's dumbass is here like, okay, he can counter my fruit. My fire doesn't work against him. Maybe if I make more fire, and then the interaction doesn't work the same. Aha! And then it just didn't.
If he's expended every other option, then what else can he do?
I mean, it wasn't portrayed as like a situation where he was like, okay, this isn't gonna work. Most likely isn't gonna work, but I'll just try just in case. Like he said, I'm the one that's gonna make Whitebeard the Pirate King. Like he thought he was that nigga. Like come on.
Well, shouldn't you have that stance at all times?
Not if you believe it's most likely not gonna work.
You don't want your enemy to believe that, and you definitely don't want to, get
There's
yourself
no-
out of the fight.
There's no implication
Mentally.
that. Well, it's a difference. Like you can be realistic and still have the drive.
You can be realistic within yourself, but outwardly, you're not going to be like, "Yeah, I lost this one."
Yeah, there's no implication of that though.
Well, I think the implication is the fact that he said it, right?
I'm talking no implication of him like actually believing in his mind like the opposite. That's what I'm saying. But Blackbeard won the final clash. Before the final clash, Ace is on his knees, and Blackbeard, he did seem like a bit tired, but it was clear Blackbeard got the best of that clash during the off screen, and it wasn't really close if this nigga's on his fucking knees. And again, before that, like one chop from Blackbeard kind of just fucked Ace up, and
Almost broke
Ace
his neck.
he almost broke his neck
yeah.
or something along those lines. I heard that was a mistranslation, but I don't really know. Like once
Well,
Blackbeard
yeah,
actually
I
started
think it
using
was.
his fruit, Ace had
If
no
this was
options left.
translation, he was just like, "Oh, the bones in my neck." Oh,
The bones in my neck. Oh.
Yeah. I think that,
which could insinuate that he got his neck broken, but
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
it's kind of hard to fight with a broken neck.
But yeah, Ace basically had no options once Blackbeard actually started trying. And yeah, there's not much to Ace really. Like there was this fight with Blackbeard. There was his scuffle with Aokiji, which is just like a devil fruit interaction. And that's it. Like his physical feats aren't like really impressive. And I guess it's just because people hype him up to like these crazy levels. And they'll downplay someone like my nigga Zoro. Where they want to give Ace all this clout based on nothing really.
Well, I wouldn't say it's based on nothing, and you know that.
I mean, it's based on speculation for the most part.
I think it was well-founded speculation, being the son of Roger and all.
Yeah, I guess. But
Luffy's brother, Whitebeard's heir.
Yeah,
Still, his potential like isn't really the greatest argument. Like Luffy at this point, he's definitely way stronger than Ace.
Well, yeah, I mean that's not really what I was referring to, but I'm just saying that you can't really say that people hyping up Ace is based on nothing.
Well, I'm talking about like the way they say it so matter of factly.
like relatively saying he's like a first command level and shit like that when he hasn't proven that at all.
Yeah, some people even say he's on par with admirals. It's crazy.
Well, yeah, I
Like
think that's ridiculous.
like Sabo now is stronger than Ace. Even Prito from Sabo stronger than Ace.
Most likely. I mean, Dragon just seemed like a better teacher than Whitebeard.
I don't think Whitebeard's teaching niggas shit. Just like get strong.
I think it was confirmed that he did in like one of the Ace novels.
I didn't read those. Probably should read those honestly.
Y'all heard they're
Apparently,
making a manga out of those, right?
yeah, they're gonna make a manga out of it
I don't
with
know what is this.
with a good artist too.
Drawn by Boichi. I like Boichi's art, but I would
don't-
rather somebody like Horikoshi.
Or Koshi, that bum.
Yeah. Oh, here you go.
It's time, bro. It's slander season. Yeah, we could get off Ace. I definitely don't
You're
want to talk
quite a
about My
guy.
Hero. Fuck that series.
You haven't read a single chapter.
Bro,
I have.
I gave it a fair chance. I read one panel.
I have read multiple chapters.
I couldn't
and
continue.
actually,
I could not continue. I could not for the life of me
Manga.
continue.
the only manga I hated more while reading was Demon Slayer. That shit's.
I won't even give that a chance.
Don't
You're
give it a
wild.
chance. Actually,
My observation is too strong to give that a chance.
dude.
I won't do it.
All you have to do is watch the anime and everything after is garbage. Not everything after. The next arc is not bro, but this arc, I'm like shuddering thinking about how bad that shit is, bro.
Good thing I'm not reading it.
The amount of times like, oh my god, it's so I mentally blocked it. That shit was like so bad. Ali was recommending me to read it too, and I was like, I'll check it a chance. I was at work reading it, and I was like,
He baited you, man. Baited you.
he definitely baited me. And JB's too. Never again.
Never again. But Prime Shinjao, how strong do you think he is? Oh, you playing Smite?
Yeah, I'm playing Smite. What'd you say?
I said Prime Shinjao, how strong do you think he is?
Let me see this list.
I have him in the same tier as Magellan and Cat.
That's fair, but like, I could see him being in B, like Denjiro and the Nekomamushi dog guy as well.
I don't know, because he was considered a legend, but legend is really relative. And I thought, like, old bounties, they were, like, inherently just a lot smaller, and that's why it was, like, 500 mil or something.
Yeah,
And, like, there was, like, current bounties, it's much easier to get a higher one. But
I
apparently
kind of agree with that.
I don't know, because old bounties were, like, insane. Like, Rogers was, like, 5.5 bill.
That's what made those guys so special. It's like at the high end, especially being in the same era as those guys. Like I doubt there's like much love given to the fucking Chinjaos of the world and stuff.
Maybe he just didn't do much, because he has, like, his own country to lead.
That's my other point. Is like probably he only had like a small territory. It's not like he's like raining terror on people across.
When him and Garp clashed, though, it seems like Garp was struggling. Like, he was sweating, and it looked like it wasn't an easy thing to one-shot him. But he did
The
end up
fact
one-shotting him.
The fact that Garp had to go train to be able to beat this guy is like hype enough. Like while Garp is like an admiral level person, he still had to go train to beat him.
I don't think he had to, but he was just like, let me just go train.
I mean, I don't know why
It
he
was like a
would.
warm-up.
But
Maybe he wanted to embarrass him and one-shot him. I don't know.
maybe just like it doesn't matter how strong you are, that tip of his head is just that will be OD.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it got a lot of hype. I definitely don't think he split a fucking continent. It did not look like a continent at all.
Not at all. Barely island side.
At best. But, I guess the reason his old form is, like, so much weaker is because he's one of those old people that just gave up on trying to, like, maintain their strength. I guess that would be the best argument for why he's so pathetic now. I feel like he should get a lot of hype in his prime form. I feel like I could even maybe be underestimating him. Especially because Garp was, like, struggling during their clash, but he didn't end up one-shotting him, so It's very hard to say. And another thing is like he wasn't using Rio against Luffy either, and he should be able to use it even if he's old.
Talking about Jinjo?
Yeah.
Maybe he was using it.
Come on. There's no way.
It's kind of hard to tell, right?
I mean, he would just like send an air shockwave and just like send Luffy the fuck back.
Well, there's different ways to apply it. You don't really have to apply it in that way, right?
You don't, but like, why would his attacks be so weak if he applied it another way?
Were they weak? I mean, he was clashing with Luffy pretty evenly.
Like Gear 2 Luffy.
Well, yeah, at that point, it was a pretty strong character.
Yeah, but at that point, only because we didn't know how big the world was. But yeah, I don't know regarding Chinjao. There's a lot of different ways you could argue against him or for him. I just went with like the generic around first commander level, just so I don't disrespect him too much.
Yeah, I think Prime Shinjo
I think he's
being first commanding level. I think that's fair.
Yeah, command level. It's true.
I mean, if you got to send Garp the hero after him, I mean that alone speaks for how strong it would be.
Yeah, I don't know if they had to send him. Maybe other people weren't available. I don't really know like the exact situation. But yeah, he definitely was like portrayed as a big threat. Garp training and all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we could end it here. I mean, we could talk about my boy No Sword Style and the little blade Zoro.
That's pretty disgusting.
Yeah, that's like.
And Dolphy and Cracker is gonna come up soon. That's gonna be interesting.
I think Dolphy. I was about to mention something about Cracker. Remember we were talking about how, what's his name? Fuck. Teach embellishes his like pain and shit. I feel like he's like literally the same as Cracker, where like they don't like pain, but and they're like wild, like yell when they get hurt, but they're definitely durable. Like I don't think that removes Cracker's durability somehow, just because he hates pain.
Yeah, I mean he already proved his durability against Luffy.
Yeah, people still use that shit. Like probably one of my pet peeves.
They just don't understand.
Bro, guess what this Susanoo got first?
Who y'all
His
talking
two?
about? Yeah, y'all said somebody proved their durability.
What's the teleport one?
That's just 3 Draco. I said Cracker proved his durability because he was able to withstand Cannonball.
Yeah, like it wasn't just a cannon. We had to go through all this shit just to be knocked out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'll end it here. We could start the next one off with Big Cancer with No Sword Style Zoro. It'll be glorious. And then we'll talk about Dolphy and Cracker in the same episode, so there's gonna be like it's very cancerous. Bro, you're not gonna argue for your boy Dolphy?
No Sword Style Zoro. It's just like
the GOAT.
Oh wow.
Bro, punching through Dolphy's strings. You heard it here first.
I'm gonna have to bring out the calcs, man.
You do that.
Yeah,
Have you ever played what was that game called? Like Ashura's Fist or something?
Ashura's Wrath.
Yeah, he's gonna do that with his Ashura. Nine fist style.
Okay.
Teaching motherfuckers the ways.
And he's gonna punch Kaido in his ass, huh?
Yep. Well, on the ass, not in the ass. He's not gonna punch his asshole, but he's gonna punch him right in the cheek.
Kaido the old fist in that.
I wouldn't go that far, but he'll punch his cheek.
All right.
But yeah, I'll end it at that.
You keep dreaming that. He going inside.
Okay, Steve-O. I mean, if you want to say so, okay. All right. But yeah, I'll end it here. Peace.